Swipe left to reveal comments. Left. All right. Am I just live on regular? I'm trying to figure out where I'm live at. Oh, no, I'm live on the regular. Okay. Let's hurry up that. Okay, guys. Bear with me here. Go to reseller connection. I think oh, here we go. Here we go. There we go. All right. I'm trying to get it live on. Oh, I think it's live. Yeah, it's live. Okay. All right. So I'm going to wait a few minutes because it's 5:59. I'll look at my YouTube. I don't have anybody on there. So if you're tuning into YouTube right now, this is my live video on my Facebook group that connects resellers with wholesalers. I'm wearing my reading glasses. It looks like my lenses are super thick, but that's just because I just need to see up close when I'm doing these videos. I just realized how thick they look, but they're not. They're just readers, but they're cool. So if you want to join my group, if you're watching this on YouTube, the link is in the description. So go to that, and I will be coming back every once in a while to see if anybody's watching. Trying to get if I have any comments on here. Anybody tuning in? Anybody there? Olga is watching. Hi, Olga. Just waiting for. Hi. How are you? Are you a reseller or a wholesaler? I know. That's what I'm thinking too. Where is everyone? I been kind of talking about it a little bit in the group that I was going to do this tonight. I'm going to try to do a live video like this every Thursday. Today, I just wanted to talk about pricing. Hi, Jody. You're a reseller. So you're looking at buying wholesale from other thrifters, potentially. So pricing stuff is important to the resellers too, because you would like to get your stuff at a reasonable cost so you can make the most profit possible on your items. I think I've talked to some people that were interested in wholesale, and they are, looking at going to the regular. I call it I heard this the other day. It's the Goodwill racks, and then there's the Goodwill outlet. So the Goodwill racks is like the regular Goodwill store where they price each item. The Goodwill outlet is where you buy by the pound. Usually is how that works. I think there are some outlets that like sell it for like $1 a piece, but mine sell by the pound. So I just think that it's important to know that if you're going to be a wholesaler, you probably should not be buying from the regular Goodwill racks unless you're going on dollar days, which my local Goodwill racks do not have that option. They do like a 50% off color every week, and I think that there's a senior day, but I don't qualify for that for a few more years. So I just go to the Goodwill outlet and buy things for between like $1.20 and $1.50 a piece. Hi, Sherry. Got a few people in here. Are you guys all resellers or are you guys wholesalers also? I just had like this ongoing cough. I'm gonna have a tic tac. Oh, my husband must be in the garage. Like, what is that noise? You haven't missed anything. I just started. There's only like three or four people in here, so I'm kind of waiting for a few more people to get on so I can talk about. I was just talking about like being a wholesaler and buying at the Goodwill racks, which is just the regular Goodwill stores, compared to going to the Goodwill outlet and shopping in the bins and paying by the pound. Because I met a lady and she's here in the group and she was looking at doing wholesale, and she said she was just going to the dollar days at her regular Goodwill racks, which is great if you're finding like the prime stuff that other people have missed in those dollar days, because it's just like the clearance, the stuff that's been there for weeks or whatever. And some of the brands that she had, I know I would personally not even buy for my people that I sell to. I'm a seller on eBay 5+ years. That's awesome. And then I was just pointing out that it's important for the resellers to buy the items at a reasonable price so they're still making money. I know for me, in my own reselling business, because I am also still a reseller, um, I want to make like 3 to 5 times my investment if I'm buying like regular Goodwill. If I'm buying at the bins, I'm gonna be making a lot more than that. But if I'm going to the regular Goodwill racks, like I just went there last Friday, I bought a wooden ship sweater that was new with tag. They didn't know what they had. It was, I believe, $7.99. And then I bought 2 pairs of Judy blue jeans for $9.99 each. And I knew that I could easily triple to 5x. I don't know what is it? Triple, quadruple, septuple. Is that the five? Anyways, um, I want to get 3 to 5 times my money. So like those Judy blues I've got for $35. So that's easily tripling my money on those. So that's my goal. Hi, Travis, Jody, Sherry. And I just think it's important to talk about the pricing because as a wholesaler, because I think a lot of people have unrealistic ideas of what they can sell an item as a wholesaler to a reseller. So like those Judy blue jeans, I spent $10 each on them, $9.99. I won't even try to sell those to my people, my resellers that I sell wholesale to, because they're not going to buy a pair of jeans for $20 that they're only going to get $30 or $40 for. That's just not a good turnaround after all the fees and the time it takes to list it, the time it takes to ship it individually. Um, and they're not just paying $20, they're also paying the shipping. 'Cause the people I wholesale to pay the shipping for the bundles that I sell them. So I'm kind of waiting to see if we get any wholesalers in here to talk about that. There's only 3 people in here. I'm kind of bummed about that number just because I thought that there would be more people. If you have any questions, just let me know. It looks like I have 2 people watching over on YouTube. So, hello. If you have any questions, just put them in the comments on the YouTube channel and I will go back and forth and do my best to answer. Jody is both. How are you doing, Jody, with your wholesale business? Do you have clients? Oh, you're saying both to something else? No, you're not saying both to something else. You're saying that you do both. You're a reseller and a wholesaler. So, Jody, if you're still in here, let us know how you're doing with your wholesale. Just started out on resale butler, only sold 2 lots thus far. So I have not used wholesale butler or resale butler. Can you explain it to me? Like type it out really quick, or I don't know if you could join. I think I can add people to this video, but I'm not sure. But if you want, I mean, some people don't want to be on video, so it's no big deal. But I haven't been on there because I have three clients. My bins have been a little bit brutal lately as far as just finding really good stuff. There seems to be a lot of people rating those bins when they first come out. If you've never been to the Goodwill outlet, when they bring out the new boats or bins or whatever you want to call them, people line up to go through them, and there's really no room for your cart. I am a check every tag wholesaler. Um I'm all about, finding the stuff that people left behind. I can't do that in that situation because people are just rushing those bins, going through them so fast. They're basically just grabbing everything that looks interesting and then sorting through all that stuff. It's just not my I don't wanna be bumping elbows. I don't wanna be grabbing stuff from other people. I don't like that whole vibe, so it's been a little challenging for me in that situation. So 2 out of the 3 well, actually just 1 out of the 3 buyers I've decided to do every other week, and then the other 2, I'm gonna still try to keep on a weekly basis, but 1 I might switch to every other week. We'll just have to see how it goes. Um, I have 1 buyer that will buy a lot more different things from me than the other 2, and, so that's one thing that you need to know about if whether you're a reseller or a wholesaler is just really getting to know your buyers if you're doing it on a one-on-one. I know that resale butler is more like a platform, so you're putting lots on there and then um, someone just buys that lot. So you're just sending it to whoever. Not only is it important to get as low as possible wholesale price per piece, but the pieces need to have a higher sell-through rate. Yes, I can find inexpensive stuff all day long, but what good it is if it doesn't sell? Exactly, exactly. And when I first started doing this, actually up until just like a month or so ago, I was still buying stuff for me to resell, and I was just building up this huge desk pile in my other. This is my office, and then I have a room I photograph in, and it was just filling up with all this stuff. And I've been more diligent. Like, if I buy something that I'm going to sell myself, I need to bring it home and photograph it immediately so that I can load the photos so they're ready for me to list. Because as a reseller, that's how I do mine. I photo in bulk, and then I sit down with those photos and the items, like, I keep the items right here next to me in an IKEA bag, and then when I'm listing, they're right here, and I just do everything. If I need to research it, I don't do drafts or any of that stuff, I never have, so that's just how I personally list, and it works for me, but it doesn't work for me if I don't photograph it, and Kimberly Reynolds on YouTube said hello. Hello, Kimberly. So yeah, so with Resale Butler, you're not really getting to know your clients or your buyers. You're just putting out some lots, which is a great way to do it too. But you also, even doing that, you still have to buy good stuff for people to want to buy your lot and price it really well. So most of my stuff goes for $5. I always say my range is between 3 and 10 because, if I have, like, a little, free people tank top, I'll do it for 3 unless it's just something totally amazing. If it's just a pretty plain tank top, I'll do it for $3 because it's so light, and Free People just isn't what it used to be. Used to Free People used to be gold a few years ago, and that's another thing as a wholesaler is letting go of some of those brands. Like, right now, I've just started letting go of Madewell. Like, I bought one Madewell item, it was a size large cardigan, today because I've been just passing on all kinds of Madewell if it isn't that great. So, does anybody have any questions or anything they wanna discuss as far as, um Hi, Morgan. As far as pricing or, sell-through rate, just going through that whole process of buying, um, decent items to either resell or wholesale. 'Cause there are 546 people in this group now. So I did if you know who Kaylee Elaine is, she's the one that kind of started me thinking about wholesale because she was talking about, Trash Panda, which is Bethany and Sean, and she she interviewed me about a month ago, and that is up on her YouTube channel, which is Kaylee Elaine. It's Kayley, and then Elaine, Elaine. And it was probably like an hour or so long interview just about how I got started, how I run my business, how I do my calls, how I do my shipping, how I came up with my pricing, how much money that there is to make. Thank you. I appreciate that you thought that was a great interview. When I watch it back, I'm always like, I talk too much. I get so chatty and then I get off on these little tangents and I'm like, okay, refocus, Shelly, refocus. But I like doing interviews. I like doing videos. I've yet to edit one of my videos. They're all live videos because I just get on here and start talking. So it looks like we have 6 people in here. If you have any questions, please say them in the chat and then we can talk about them. So yeah, my cost when I go to the bins per item is approximately 120 to 150 per item. Yes, she is a really good clothing reseller to follow. Sherry, are you on the Reseller's Edge, their course, the reselling course? I am on it. I feel like they're not doing a lot of advanced stuff, they're doing a lot of beginner stuff, and I appreciate that, but, I went on there. I went on there to support them, and then I really enjoy Bethany and Sean because they're also wholesalers, so I feel like I can get a little insight from them. Um, Wednesday in that course, they have an accountability call that Nikki, which is Kaylee's like right hand woman, and Sean of Trash Panda run together, and I was just talking to him about like trying to do wholesale and trying to be a reseller too, trying to put those together so I can make a ton of money reselling my own stuff and also a ton of money wholesaling. And he said that they had tried that for several months and were working like 14 to 18-hour days and just running themselves into the ground. So that's another thing about this whole thing. I put a little inspirational post on this group several weeks ago, and it was about that I had made $842 in one day, and that was with 2 of my buy calls, which was great. That was like a record for me, but it wasn't like, I just went to the bins once and then came home and presented this stuff to these people, and they bought $842. That was 5 to 6 days of going to the Goodwill outlet and shopping for 3 4 hours a day, and then coming home, separating it all, washing things that had stains that I was hoping I could get out, um, dealing with stuff that they didn't want, like it's a whole process. It's like become like this job where reselling I was just kind of toying with, and I would do hardcore when I needed some money, but then I would slow back down. People are depending on you to get their inventory. It's a whole new game. Okay, Jody says, I've been trying to find more plus size items for wholesale lots. Seems to be what a lot of folks are looking for. I've been outsourcing, but have been very picky about what I'm picking up. Sourcing is getting harder. I'm in Southern California and I can find some great brands, but prices are crazy. Okay, if you are in Southern California, Jody, are you and you're a wholesaler, you're looking for whole stuff to put in wholesale lots, are you going to the Goodwill outlet in Southern California? I'm not. I wish they had a lower level, not because of the cost necessarily, but I don't need the entry level stuff. Store reviews. Oh, you're not on there. Yeah. Yeah, I think that they're looking at doing more advanced stuff. She was asking in the Facebook group for the course today if there was any certain things that we wanted her to, do more information on. Honestly, I haven't watched a lot of the stuff on the reseller stuff. Um, because like every time you finish one of their videos, it's like I completed it and then so much percentage completed, like which isn't really that important to me. I'm more there for the wholesale and the calls because I just enjoy interacting. Um, but so I didn't give any advice on what subjects she should do because I don't know what's out there and I don't want to say, oh, you should do it on this and her go, there's already a video on that, Shelly. um, Yeah, Jody, I so agree with you there. The competition is definitely harder than it used to be at the bins. I am just running into that so hardcore. I moved to this community. I live in Vancouver, Washington, which is across the bridge. Like literally, Portland, Oregon is like 10 minutes from my house. Not downtown Portland, but crossing the bridge into Portland. And um, when I first moved here in 2010, I had a little Goodwill. It was called the Goodwill As Is in the little town that I moved here from. And so when I moved here, I was like, I need to find an outlet. And I did immediately. And that's where I've been going since 2010. And I just love it there. But it's changed in just, it seems like as soon as I went wholesale, it's changed. I started doing wholesale in like mid June. And by like August, I had my 3 buyers. And I saw a huge change probably, like, in September, October. I don't know if that was just across the board, but just, like, a lot more competition. A lot more people are there. We have the T-shirt boys, which is are still there, but they seem to be kinda mellowing out. But there for a while, they would, like, try to, like, move my cart and dig through where I was, and I'd just be like, "Hey, this little area right here where I'm at is my space. Don't touch my cart. Don't throw a bunch of clothes in the way where I'm looking. It's rude." And then they would just, like, walk away because they weren't, not gonna go there. But they left me alone after that. And there's a couple that are really great that I talk to sometimes, and I love to sell kids' clothes now. It's so easy, and parents will pay good money for kids' clothes. And I find a lot of kids' clothes at the bin, so it's great because it lowers my cost of goods per piece. Where are you selling those kids' clothes? Are you selling those online, wholesale? We have a Once Upon a Child here, and I'm kind of collecting some really good brands. Every once in a while, I find something that's super cute. Oh, Kidizen. I did Kidizen for a little while. I didn't sell a lot there, but like kids' clothes aren't my passion. But when I find something super cute, I grab it, and I've got like almost a whole IKEA bag full, and I'm just gonna take it to Once Upon a Child and see what they'll take. And if whatever they don't take, I might just list. I don't know. I would like the group I would like the group more for camaraderie. Yeah, and I enjoy that, and I feel like I'm so, Kaylee and Nikki are one of my buyers, and so me and Nikki me and Kaylee are friends too, but me and Nikki have become pretty good friends. Like, I can text her during the day. I mean, I don't text her every day, but there's definitely times when I'm just like, "Hey, what's up?" Or, or whatever. And so, yeah, so, like, these resellers that are out there become your friends, like, you wanna meet them in person, like, I don't know if any of you know who Margaret what's her last name? She was Texas Gal Treasures, and I believe she's in Colorado now. Several years ago, I mean, I wanna say 8 or 9 years ago, she came through Portland because she was visiting some relatives, and I knew that she was here, and I met her for coffee, and so that was really cool. Trying to think, do I know Noelle, who is on YouTube, what is she's doing I think she's actually doing a live right now on Facebook or on YouTube. What is her Farm Girl Scavenger. I've been to her house. I haven't been to her new house, but when she lived out on the farm, I've been to her house. So there like, you get to know these people, and it's awesome. It's awesome to have all those people to chat with, and, because especially when you're a full-time reseller and you don't have a regular 9 to 5 job where you can sit in the break room and, shoot the what with your friends, your coworkers and stuff. This is like these groups and stuff are your social life. Hi, Zen View is watching. That's a cool. I'm assuming that that's your like handle. Um, so I'm trying to stay on the subject of pricing. We have 7 people in here right now. So if you have any questions about pricing, if you have any comments about pricing, throw it out there. I purchased 1 mystery lot and have had 3 buy calls since joining your group. Nice. How was the mystery lot? Heard horror stories about mystery lots. Yeah, and the price for that, I mean, their course is $50 a month, which, if you're learning a ton, I've learned a ton from Kaylee. I was just like I've literally been selling online since like 99, 2000, and I learned so much from Kaylee in just a few months, and like sell-through rate. I don't know, I just wanted to be like, coulda had a V8 kind of moment, like, Why did I never know about sell-through rate? Why did I never even, like, I've been selling clothes for years and years and years, like, what an amazing, business model. It almost guarantees your sale in 90 days, you know? Like, right now, it's kinda iffy because 'cause we're in between, like, winter and spring and summer, so, you could look up a bathing suit right now, and it's not gonna be that great, but in another month or so, it's gonna be, flying off the shelves, so I'm super curious about the mystery lot. I hope it was good. I haven't sold mystery lots, but, I mean, I guess you could call them mystery lots. I didn't sell them as mystery lots, but I've had people go, "Just send me some stuff and I'll trust you," and I send them stuff, and sometimes, like, they were great, and other times I don't even hear from them ever again, and I'm like, "Okay, maybe they didn't like it." Yeah, swimwear is already selling, and I need to get back into that because I see lots of, like, swimsuit cover-ups, and I just bought, I think it was a Torrid swim top for one of my buyers, and it was so funny because just a few months ago, I had one, and I thought it was a bra, and I was like, "Oh, this is a swim top," and she goes, "Oh, well, then I don't want it if it's a swim top because 'cause I'm not gonna sell that." But even as a reseller, I list stuff like that all year because I figure people are going on cruises, like, maybe they need a new swim top for their cruise, but that's not doing sell-through rate, that's just, getting it out there and hoping that somebody happens upon it for their cruise. I was reading or watching a video and this because I guess there was, like, a report that somebody had gone overboard on a cruise, and this lady who, she's like a cruise she look her husband is one of the, like, mechanics or whatever on a cruise ship, so she pretty much lives on a cruise ship for a long time because her husband is there and they stay together, and she was like, "You have to understand at any given time, there's, like, 240 cruise ships in the ocean." I was like, "What? That's crazy." I don't like mystery lots, I won't do it again. So, it was not a good experience. Yeah, I thought about putting mystery lots, and I even, like I posted on here. You watch her too. Who do you watch? So, I was gonna tell you too, there's a gal, it's called Thrift and Thrive. I don't remember what her name is, but she's on YouTube. It's called Thrift and Thrive. Write it down. She is a really good one to watch for her haul videos or her what sold videos. She's got some really good brands out there. Oh, and then, what's her name? You guys, I'm gonna have to open another tab and look over here. I'm looking around. I have my phone hanging on my monitor, so I'm, like, looking around the side of my phone so I can see my, um, my screen, my PC screen. Oh, the cruise lady, yeah, yeah. I love watching her. I've never been on a cruise. I kinda wanna go on a cruise, but it kinda scares me. If I go on a cruise, I think I'm gonna do an Alaskan cruise, but I haven't even so my history and where is she? So I was watching this lady, I've watched her before, and she was doing the 100 best, like, high priced, um where is she? Yeah, Thrift and Thrive is really good. Tuesday, where is she? Monday. Oh, okay. It's Rebecca Allison. If you don't follow her on YouTube, follow her. She has the 100 brands worth money. And so I started writing them all down because that's how I remember things is by writing them down. And um she shows the tags. So as she's talking about each brand, it's a 32 32-minute and 35-second video, but she goes over 100 brands and she shows all the tags, like, up in the corner while she's talking about them. So not only are you hearing about that brand, you're seeing the tag, so it kinda sticks in your head a little bit, and I know that helps me a lot. I just listed my first 4 wholesale lots, wish me luck. I think it's reasonable, but constructive criticism is okay. Um, send view, where did you list them? Yeah, where did you list them? Did you just list them on the group here? Instagram. So, are they mystery lots, or did you show everything that's in them? And what is your price per item, just out of curiosity? I'm just curious what your prices are for your lots. 'Cause I go between 3 and $10, almost I would say 90% or better are $5 each when I'm selling to my people. But I buy something the most I pay for something average is about a buck 50, but it's usually like a buck 30, and I sell them for $5. When you're selling, 50 to 100 pieces like that, it's a moneymaker. 120 shipped for 20 items. So that's like why is my brain not working? Just a second here. So 120 divided by 20. Really? 120 divided by 20. So that's $6 each. That's a good, yeah. Thank you, Olga. Apparently I have to get out a calculator to do simple math right now. Yeah, $6 a piece shipped. That's really good. That is really good. That is really, really good. And so, also, even at $6 a piece, what are some of the brands? Because if that's like, you know, Forever 21 and, is it lower end mall brands? Is it mid-tier mall brands? Is it better stuff? Because just to give you an example, like right here, this is Barefoot Dreams, like one of those Barefoot Dreams, like open cardigan. Um, I'll probably sell this for $5 to my person, just because it's number one, Barefoot Dreams. I think it's still good, but it's not super great. And then here's like a Torrid size 5, like burnout dress, $5. But then if I have something like Johnny Was, I always go to Johnny Was because I just absolutely love that stuff. So what is mid-tier to you? Like, give me just an example of a couple mid-tier brands. I'm just super curious what other people think are mid-tier. Because to me, like, Torrid is mid-tier. Like Forever 21, Old Navy, Hot Topic, those are all lower tier. Anything like, um but then there's little surprises like plus size, really nice Old Navy pieces, like a floral dress or something, is also mid-tier as far as sell-through rate because it has higher sell-through rate. Um, the brand, um, Knox Rose, which is a Target brand, if you can find the plus size stuff, and especially if it has lots of detail, embroidery, lace, all that good stuff, that can be more mid-tier because the sell-through rate is really good. So If you are a wholesaler, I would highly, highly recommend that you are understanding how to look up sell-through rate. So it's not just putting in, Knox Rose plus size embroidered top. It's putting in that it's in used condition, that it's a size 2X, that it's possibly sleeveless. So you want to put in not a whole bunch of details, but a few details. For me, I always put in condition and size, and then if it's like on top of that, like if it's like a sheath dress or something, like if I go there and it's got a bazillion, then I might try to narrow it down a little bit. But I do those two. J. Crew, Eileen Fisher. Oh, those are pretty good. Those are pretty good. That's Eileen Fisher is like mid tier, but it's on the higher end of mid tier. J. Crew, mid tier. Yeah. Adriana Goldschmied. That brand's kind of tanking a little. I don't think it's necessarily tanking, but all I can find is skinny jeans. I'm just so sick of skinny jeans. I wear skinny jeans. I love skinny jeans, but they're not selling very well. Like I was at the beginning of this call, I was talking about how I went to the regular Goodwill rack store and I found two pairs of Judy Blue jeans. They are both well, one's called the boyfriend fit and the other's called a skinny, but they're both skinny jeans. They both have the tapered legs. And they should still sell, but not like if they were like boot cut or flares. But I also think that might start going, it's like all these trends, you just have to be like, you have to keep track of all these trends coming and going and coming and going. And just when something is going out, something else is coming back in, and the other thing comes back in. It's just like, that's the name of this game is just keeping track of all of the trends. Well, they must not been too impressed with me over on the YouTube because now there's nobody watching me there. So I don't know if I'm going to keep going on this call. Does anybody have any questions about pricing? Does anybody have any questions about wholesaling? Does anybody have any questions at all? I'm kind of surprised out of the 546 people that are in this group thank you so much for everybody that did show up. I totally appreciate you guys. I'm not trying to downplay that, but jeans are hard for me to pick up, especially for women. Yeah, I don't pick up very many jeans. I always look at all of the Levi jeans for the big E on the little red tag, that little red tab. If you can find the big E Levi's, those are pretty good sellers. My buyers are always after those. They can even have a few little flaws. In fact, I just found one and they're kind of like the Dockers. They have like the split pocket in the back, like the slacks. Um, my so I'm the people that I've been working with for months, and I know what their expectations are, and sometimes they are high, but I know that, and that's what I shop for when I'm out shopping every day for them. Um, but I have definitely just seen on the group where people will reach out to me because I've had people reach out to me in so many they find me on different social media and they're like, "Are you taking on new?" They don't just ask, "Are you taking on new buyers?" They tell me, "I want at least 75% sell through rate and $50 average sale price. So what can you get me?" And I'm like, "I can get you nothing because I'm already working with people and I'm not in any position to buy you all of that stuff." So that's where the high expectations come for me as a wholesaler, is people thinking that I just have like all this amazing inventory that I'm ready to sell them when all the amazing inventory that I currently have are going to my sellers, my resellers, buyers, however you want to say it. And I I have found mostly that in this group that and that's kinda why I wanted to talk about pricing, is I found that a lot of people that want to do wholesale have high expectations about what kind of brands other people are willing to buy from them and for how much. I would say Kaylee and Nikki have really high expectations, and it shows in the results. Yes, they do have high expectations. Out of my 3 buyers, those those guys turn down the most items, and I know that, and they're actually the ones that I have decided to go every other week with because I just feel like my calls with them, um, aren't a waste of time, but would the time would be better spent if I had 2 weeks to find them stuff instead of 1 week, because, I could be selling them 50 to 80 items and instead of, like, 25 to 40 items in 1 call, and then ship all that out instead of doing it weekly. So, yes, they have very high expectations, but then they kinda surprise me on things because there's things that they just really like to sell, like, they really like to sell sequined items. So, I'm not gonna bring them like a, Walmart brand sequin top, but if I find a sequin top that's just really nice, it doesn't ha the brand doesn't necessarily have to be there for them to buy it, but it's still a risk. I get it, and I hope that they buy it, and if they don't, then I either offer it to one of my other people or I take it back. Like, right now, I have about 3 or 4, like, 13-gallon bags, like those like the under the sink garbage bags full of stuff that need to go back to the bins, and probably about half of that is stuff that I bought for my wholesalers. The rest of it is stuff that I'm going through my own inventory and weeding stuff out. So, yeah, I take stuff back to the bins. I don't fret about it because 'cause I'm making enough money, like, I'm putting out, like, 2 or $300 a week and making back, sometimes $1,000 in a week, so it's no big deal to take a few things back. I do list some stuff. I like, if I find something that's just really amazing, I'll list it myself. But that's the reason that I really was drawn to the wholesale thing because I had been asking for a long time. I wish there was just something that I could do where I could just go thrifting and not have to list all this stuff. And that's why the buy calls work really good for me because I just do like this video. This is what I do. And I'm standing up and I'm just holding here's a Barefoot Dreams open cardigan, $5, and okay, I'll take it. And I put it in the bag and then I fill it up to like, 10 or 15 things in a big poly mailer and tape it up and yeah, for me that's much better. And I was trying Whatnot for a while because I was just like, wow, if I could just sell on Whatnot, I wouldn't have to, you know, sit down and list every single thing, but even on Whatnot, you wanna catalog all your stuff so you're still taking pictures. It's not quite as time consuming because 'cause you're just taking, like, 1 picture of something and a quick little thing, but it's on the phone and it just drives me crazy, and I just wasn't getting a good following on Whatnot. That's why I asked the other day, would anybody be interested in buying from me if I did lots on Whatnot, and I kinda got, like everybody was like, "Why would you do that? I don't even do Whatnot," and I was just curious because to me, that's just an easy way, like a video call, just to the masses instead of I just really prefer the video call. I don't wanna take a bunch of pictures. I don't wanna do a spreadsheet on what I have so you can pick and choose. I wanna do a call, hold up each piece, and either you do want it or you don't want it, and then invoice you and take it all to the post office. That's what I like to do. But I do still list my own stuff. I still have a reselling, um, inventory and, um, income. So, yeah. Listing is not my favorite thing. Definitely not. I really wish on YouTube I could see who was watching me. I am fearful I wouldn't have enough to sell wholesale to get what the buyers want. How much do buyers usually want in one buy? I think I'm fearful of the calling you do. Oh, like the video calls. So my buyers buy anywhere between like, the least I've sold is like 19 or 20 in a call, in a buy call, and it's a video call. I always call it a buy call. It's a video call, just like this. I'm just like this. Um, and then up to like I think my biggest one has been 112 items in one call. And that was that day that I did $842 in one day, just because she bought 112 items. And it was just like I could have actually pulled some more stuff because I also have a vintage store here locally that buys from me. But she's been going to the bins herself. She's had some interesting times, so she hasn't been buying a lot. And so I've been just like taking all of that stuff and selling it to this one buyer that I have, and she's been buying a ton of it. And I was just like, okay, I need to end this because I'm exhausted. We'd been going for like 3 hours and I was done. Um, and then so they want to buy as much as I can give them. The buyers that I have, they don't I haven't run into a limit. They're not like, "Oh, I can't take any more." They're just like, "Yeah, I'll take whatever you can get for me that I want to buy." Um, and you're fearful of the calling. Um, yeah, there's if you want to do it this way where you don't have to like take pictures and like make a spreadsheet of what you have to get on video. I mean, I guess you could just be off video and just showing the item on a hanger or something, but like I said, I'm not afraid to get on video. But I understand the fearfulness. Like the first time I did a live video, I literally had an anxiety attack and I had like have you ever had it where your heart beats um like 120 a minute? I had that for like an hour after. I was just like, I think I might have to go to the hospital. And then finally it mellowed out, but it was like crazy. I understand the anxiety behind it, but once you get and then you get to know these people. Like I look forward to the video calls with these people because I know them and I want to chat with them. And how's your kids or how's your day or you know whatever. One of my gals, the one that bought all that from me. She worked her butt off and was able to retire her husband. Not so much retire because he's working hard now in her business, but she was making enough money where it was comfortable for him to quit his job and come home and help her. And so he's always popping in when we're talking. So it's like I got to know them and they live close to Orlando. So when I go to Disney World, because I'm on the West Coast, when I go to Disney World, I'm totally gonna go, you know, meet up with them. Yeah, first time is hard. Like the first time I did, so I've been talking to Kaylee and then I started talking to Nikki, just like talking about doing wholesale for them and kind of what they were looking for. And then when I got on the call, it was Nikki and I was expecting Kaylee. And I was just like, oh, okay. Like I didn't say that. I wasn't like, where's Kaylee? I was just like, oh, okay, in my head. And then, and now me and Nikki are friends. Like we like, we're always giving each other a hard time because she'll just be like, "Okay, show me," I know, I was doing a call like that. In fact, it was last week when I was doing this call, and she got on there, and she's she's on the East Coast, or she's on East Coast time, and, um, she was like, "Hi," and then she was like, "It's weird not being able to talk to you," and I said, "Yeah, I'm sure it's really hard for you not to be able to talk," and she was like, "That's it. Next call we have, I'm denying or every item will be denied, because we just have like this banter where we give each other a hard time and it's a lot of fun. So you just get to know people and know their personalities. So, oh my God, she's here listening to me talk about her. Dang it. I had no idea she was here. She was like hiding in the background. I'm your BFF. Love that. Hearts. Hearts. I don't think I can do hearts on here. Can I do hearts on here? I don't know. I don't want to try. I'm gonna mess something up. So, anyways, enough about Nikki. We can't just talk about Nikki all day, all night. Um, does anybody have any other questions about pricing or sell-through rate or I make your day so full, but I won't see you tomorrow because we're gonna skip. Should we still do a video call and just say hi? Or have you replaced me with someone else for your 12:30 slot? Do I charge tax? That is a good question. So I why is that showing up? It's showing up on my phone, but not down here. That's weird. Um, I checked into it with my state or with I think it was with oh yeah, it was with my state. So the people that I sell to that are out of my state, because I'm selling wholesale, um, I don't have to charge sales tax to them. But if I'm selling to anybody in my state, I'm supposed to. And I have one of my people is up in the Seattle area and I'm in Washington. And yeah, so I'm supposed to be charging her and I'm not sure how I'm gonna deal with that. So I don't want to think about it. Can I please explain sell-through rate? So sell-through rate is the approximation of how fast you're going to sell something. So say that you are looking up a, I don't know, like a Calvin Klein beaded dress. And so you put in Calvin Klein beaded dress and then you do it on eBay because eBay goes back 90 days. So you're getting a pretty accurate whether you resell on any platform, just do it with eBay. It's a very good way to look and see what it's gonna sell for. So you put in Calvin Klein beaded dress, and then you hit search, and it'll bring you to the search, and then you can go over to the side. If you're doing it on your phone, you go to the little funnel. If you're to the little, options or what I don't remember, filters. If you're doing it on your computer, you do it that little side thing, you put that it's used, you put that it's a size 8, and then it'll show you there's 1,000 beaded Calvin Klein dresses. So you're like, okay, there's 1,000 listed that are the size 8, that are used, that are beaded dresses. So then you go down to the sold and you hit sold. If there's 500 that have sold, that means that there's a 50% sell-through rate. So there's a 50% chance that within the next 90 days, that's gonna sell. If there was 1,000, that means sold, that would mean that there's a 100% chance that it'll sell in the next 90 days. If there is like 1,500 sold, that means like it's probably gonna fly off the shelf because it's over 100%. It's 150% sell-through rate. If there was 1,000 listed and there was 10 sold, that means that there's like a 1% chance that it will sell in the next 90 days, and you don't want that. So that's how I check sell-through rate when I'm looking at stuff. I don't check sell-through rate on everything because I have a good idea of what's trending, the brands that my people want to buy. So I will Some stuff just goes in my cart, but the stuff that I wanna check, I put in the little seat part, and then every so often I just stop and check sell-through rate on everything. Or if it's just a brand I don't know, or a brand I'm not sure about, or, it's like, "Oh, I know that this brand is good, but this item might not be so good, so I'll look it up." It's a lot of looking up, and you get really fast at doing it. Do you divide the number sold by the number available to get the percentage? Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you just think about it, like, if you've got 300 that are listed and 160 have, sold, that's about 50%. You don't have to be, like, super accurate, but for me, I want it to be 50% or better, and then I also want those solds to be usually over $25 because I wanna sell it for $5 to my person, and they're not gonna buy something for $5 that they're only gonna get, like, 10 or $15 for. And then there's things that are just like I said earlier, super light, or if it's just like a basic, like, Free People tank top, and I'll just say, "If you want this, I'll do it for $3 because it's so light and basic, and you're probably only gonna get, like, maybe 15 or 20." Yeah, Nikki has some good advice. My biggest piece of it this is Nikki. My biggest piece of advice is to prepare before you buy. Always plan to discuss pricing, flaws, quantity desired, purchase process, shipping preference, etc. It's important to take notes of what's available for the seller to buy, but also important for the seller to note what the buyer is passing on. Have great communication, be honest, but most importantly, have fun. Yeah, you gotta have fun. I mean, there's days that I don't wanna go to the bins. I don't wanna stand on my feet for that long. I don't but I have people depending on me, and there's other times I go to the bins and I am just finding such good stuff, I don't even wanna go home, but I need to go home or my dogs are gonna go to the bathroom in the house. So and you gotta love thrifting. You gotta love thrifting. This has definitely shifted how I thrift because 'cause I'm not just going to the bins and buying things that look cute or things that look amazing. I still do some of that, but some of like, I used to always buy all the little Disney dresses and list them, and I don't wanna do that because 'cause I'm only gonna get, like, 15 bucks for my own reselling, and I don't wanna spend all that time doing that when I'm busy looking for stuff for other people. So pass on a lot of stuff that um, I used to buy for my own reselling. And, just being, like, totally transparent, one of the things that I do as a wholesaler for my buyers is I give them credit for things that have flaws. I mean, Nikki can attest to that, my last couple batches. Hopefully, this last batch was good, but the couple batches before that, I was just really struggling at the bins, and I just bought a bunch of crap and didn't see the flaws, and out of 2 lots, I owed them, I think it was like $75 in credit, and it's just part of the business, like, it's just part of the business, and is it disheartening? Yeah, sometimes it is disheartening, but it's just part of the business, and you can't take it personal because they don't wanna spend $5 on something that has a stain on it or was ripped or whatever because 'cause they're like, "Wait a minute, we can't sell this for 30 bucks like we planned, we're only gonna get, like, 15 or 20 out of it because it has a ripped pocket or whatever." And so you have to take that into account too. You have to be willing to give those credits. And even with those credits, I'm almost always making money on the item, unless it's something they just had to throw out. I did, I don't know what I sold a couple, I don't remember if it was to Nikki or one of my other buyers, but I think it was like 2 pairs of pants and they were, oh, what brand were they? It was a pretty good brand. Both of the pairs of pants had the crotches ripped out, and I didn't even look. I was just so excited to find those brands that they're Beta brand pants, and I was so excited to find that brand, and I was so excited to move it, onto my buyers, and Both of the crotches were ripped out of these pants. They were like plus size pants. And so those were just total credit. Like they just take, like they're just tossing those. They're not going to try to list them like that. So, and you just make those mistakes. If you have ever shopped at the bins for yourself for your own reselling, you come home with stuff and you're like, I looked at this like 3 times. I didn't even see this hole. Like cashmere is my nemesis. Like, oh, what is up with that? I can look at a cashmere piece like 3 or 4 times at the bins. I bring it home. I look at it again when I sort it to whoever I'm going to sell it to. I look at it again at the buy call and then they get it and there's like, there was 3 holes in this. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? I looked at that thing like 8 times. How in the heck was there 3 holes in it? And that's another thing you have to have is trust. Like, I'm not going to be like, you better send me pictures of those holes or I'm not going to give you any credit. No, I trust them. I trust that they're going to tell me if there's holes in that. Like, you have to have that trust there. Not to say that you have to trust everyone, but the people that if you decide to start buying or wholesaling to certain buyers, to certain resellers out there, and you're doing it on a consistent basis, you have to build trust with them. Like I've said before, I send out invoices through PayPal. And sometimes I'll tell Nikki and Kaylee, hey, I sent that invoice. And then I don't hear from them for like 2 days. And I'm like, oh yeah, they never paid that invoice. And then I'll like, write one of them, usually Kaylee, because she's the one that's doing the payment. And I'll be like, hey, just a reminder that I sent that invoice. And then she'll be like, oh my God, that just happened with one of my sellers, my other sellers. And it had been, I think I did her call last Thursday and it was Sunday and I realized she hadn't paid yet. And I was like, just a little nudge. And she was like, oh my God, why didn't you nudge me earlier? I'm so embarrassed. And I'm like, it's not a big deal. Like I wasn't like, I was like, I wonder if she's trying to scam me this time. No, I know that she's a busy single mom and she got busy with her kids over the weekend. It was no big deal. I just had to give her a little nudge and say, hey. And why do people donate that kind of stuff? You never know what you're going to find in the bins. Yeah. Well, I can't say why do people donate that stuff because that kind of stuff goes right back to the bins for me. There are people that will buy cashmere with holes in it because they recycle the cashmere. So they do projects, they make yarn out of it, whatever. So I've definitely, in my own reselling career, I've actually bought a whole bunch of holy cashmere sweaters and sold them like 10 in a lot for like $40. And people will buy those for projects. I don't know if they do it so much, but like 4 or 5 years ago, that was a normal thing that I did. And it was a little moneymaker because cashmere is so light. So anyways, it's 7:00. I've been on here for an hour. I'm going to go ahead and get off. I appreciate everyone's input. If you rewatch this on YouTube or on Facebook and you have any questions, reach out and I will do my best to look at the comments and answer any questions. So, and if you have any ideas for next week's subject, next Thursday's subject, just let me know and I will definitely take it into consideration. And it doesn't have to be on wholesaling. We could talk about reselling. We could talk about getting daily sales. You guys are so welcome. Thank you everyone for showing up. I appreciate you guys so much. And have a good week. Have a profitable week. And I will chat with you soon. I'll lift you out of your little spot there. Have a great night. Bye. All right, YouTube. Thank you for watching. If you rewatch this and you have any questions, just put it in the comments and I'll do my best to get back to you. and I will talk to you next week. Bye.